Hello everyone, Weather Jamaica here. Welcome to this updated video on the weather across Jamaica and the rest of the Caribbean. It is Wednesday evening, January 3, 2024. Now before we jump into it, please ensure that you guys like the video, share it, subscribe and tap notification bell so that you'll be notified every time I post a brand new video. Feel free to leave a comment down in the comment section letting me know what the weather has been like in your area recently. Also feel free to ask any weather related question that you might have about the future of the weather in your specific area. Alright, so let's just take a look at the surface map of the Atlantic for this evening. We can still see that the Atlantic is being dominated by ridges of high pressure that are responsible for sending all of those easterly trade winds across the main development region into the Caribbean. We can also see that we have a cold front that stretches all the way from northern sections of the North Atlantic all the way down to the north of the eastern Caribbean. And we can also see that we have a trough that's affecting portions of the eastern Caribbean at this time, as represented by these broken orange lines. If we take a look at the visible satellite images of the Atlantic before the sun went down, we can actually see the clouds associated with that cold front, stretching all the way from northern section of North Atlantic all the way down to the north of the Caribbean. We can also see the clouds associated with that trough, which has now passed the Windward Islands, but some clouds still affecting portions of the Leeward Islands. And we can also see some leftover clouds from that cold front, still affecting portions of northern Hispaniola. We can also see the low-level clouds pushing from east-west across the main development region into the Caribbean, all courtesy of that easterly flow of winds brought about by that ridge of high pressure. We'll be talking more about the Caribbean's weather later on. Let us focus our attention on the prediction that was made in yesterday's video about the weather across Jamaica for today, Wednesday, January 3. It was stated in yesterday's video that majority of the rainfall would have been confined to northern Jamaica throughout the day. And for your information, northern Jamaica, we're talking about Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, St. Anne, St. Mary, Portland. And what ended up happening? As early as 8:36 a.m., a post was made on our Twitter page, and I want for you to keep in mind that these posts aren't only made on our Twitter page, but our Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok page. So if you have one of those social media platforms, please ensure that you follow us there at Weather Jamaica, as these posts aren't made here on our YouTube page. So you can actually see where the prediction came true. This morning we had clouds bringing overcast skies and isolated showers to sections of some northern parishes in Jamaica. So Portland, St. Mary, St. Anne, Trelawney, St. James got in on some of that. And we even had some commenters confirming the rainfall. Jason Dawkins stating overcast and hazy here in Yorton, St. Catherine. JJ stating lots of rain in Portland, when it gonna stop. L Mulan stating Buff Bay, pouring, pouring, pouring for days. It's starting to vex me, man. And we know that Buff Bay is in Portland. So they've definitely been getting in on all of that rainfall, that relief rainfall. And there is a high chance that the pattern is going to be changing tomorrow. We're going to be getting more of an easterly flow of winds and clouds coming in tomorrow. So the pattern is definitely going to shift. So not much rainfall is going to be in store for sections of Portland or St. Mary or St. Anne for Thursday at all. And if we actually take a look at the afternoon post that was made at 2:21 p.m., we saw that we had some amount of clouds bringing overcast skies and isolated showers to the very same spots, but more so across sections of St. Mary and Portland. And if we take a look at the visible satellite images of Jamaica before the sun went down, we can still see that we still had all of those clouds bringing overcast skies and isolated showers, sections of especially Portland, St. Mary, not much across the rest of the island, more so clear skies, if not partly cloudy skies. And if we take a look at the latest infrared satellite images, we don't have much taking place, just some leftover patches of gray clouds right there of the northeastern coast of Jamaica. And we can even see some patches of greens that represent some light to moderate rainfall affecting sections of Portland and St. Mary as we speak on the Cuban Doppler radar images, the latest image coming out at 6:50, considering that it's 6:59 p.m. right now. Taking a look at the temperatures right now, we can say we have 27 degrees Celsius in both Montego Bay and Kingston. And by about 4 a.m. on Thursday, the temperature should dip down to about 23 degrees Celsius in both Montego Bay and Kingston. As it relates to the temperature forecast for tomorrow, we can see that this map from the GFS is showing 18 on Thursday, which is actually 1 p.m. on Thursday. And we can see Jamaica embedded in some yellows and some oranges. They represent 1 to even 3 degrees Celsius above normal temperatures. And we know the normal temperatures for the month of January across Jamaica are about 86.5 degrees Fahrenheit. And that's about the same as 30 degrees Celsius. So we should be receiving anywhere from 30 to 33 degrees Celsius across Jamaica for the temperatures on Thursday. As relates to the dry air map, we can see that the dry air is represented by the yellows, oranges, and reds and whites within those reds. And we can still see that the entire Atlantic basin, including Jamaica, is being plagued by a lot of dry air. Jamaica right there being surrounded and engulfed in a lot of yellows and oranges. However, what we don't want to see is the Saharan dust, and we're not going to be seeing that across Jamaica for 2 p.m. on Thursday, as all of the browns that represent the Saharan dust should be across Africa and the main development region. As it relates to the wave forecast for tomorrow, we see more in the way of blues surrounding the island, and we take a look at the key at the bottom. We're more so getting some zero point 0.5 to a meter wave heights, more so 0.5 for a meter wave heights across the western portion of the island and the eastern portion of the island getting those meter wave heights. And that's because the winds are finally going to be coming in from the east. So we're no longer going to be getting that northeasterly flow. That's for tomorrow, though. That usually brings that rainfall to northern Jamaica. So more of an easterly flow across the island. And we know what usually takes place wherever the air piles up. We even see on the south coast more of an east-southeasterly flow, so we might get some of that air piling up across inland areas of some central and western parishes. And if there's some amount of moisture coming off of the Caribbean Sea from the east, just like what we saw at the end of the visible satellite images, we actually saw some patches of clouds coming in from the east. So who knows, we might get some of these clouds or leftovers of it tomorrow coming in to affect sections of some eastern parishes in Jamaica. I know eastern parishes, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Surrey. So Portland, St. Thomas may be spilling into sections of Kingston and St. Andrew. And just as stated, the air is going to be piling up. We have those darker shades of blues. So we might have a buildup of clouds. Then we have some afternoon rainfall, especially across sections of some northern inland areas of some northern parishes, more so central parishes and western parishes. And we know central parishes, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Middlesex, so St. Anne, St. Mary, Manchester, Clarendon, St. Catherine. Western parishes, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Cornwall, so St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, Hanover, St. James, Trelawney. And with the upper level winds coming in from the west southwest for tomorrow, that might blow any convection that could formulate off towards the east northeast and more so favoring more of that afternoon rainfall across sections of some northern parishes in Jamaica. So we'll see exactly what unfolds with that, especially considering that we're out of the thunderstorm season. Let's say that it's going to be raining across eastern, central, and western Jamaica tomorrow, with more of a bias across northern Jamaica. So, if we actually take a look at the rainfall forecast, we didn't see much in the way of blues that represent rainfall for the morning hours. It's as soon as we get into the afternoon hours that we start to see more of those blues take shape. The Euro showing some of those blues that represent rainfall at 1 p.m. across eastern and central Jamaica. The GFS, eastern and northern Jamaica. So it's kind of making more sense with what the upper level winds are showing, especially with that east southeasterly low level kind of flow with all of that air piling up across northern Jamaica. So we'll see exactly what unfolds with that. And then by about 4 p.m., we start to see the rainfall spreading out. So, still affecting sections of some eastern parishes, but not affecting sections of central and western parishes in Jamaica. So, it's definitely going to be a wet day across the island during the afternoon, that is, not in the morning. The morning is definitely going to be sunny in most areas, but during the afternoon, definitely going to be getting in on some amount of rainfall. And the accumulated precipitation forecast are in consensus with this. Keep in mind that these maps from the Euro and the GFS are showing all of the rainfall that's expected within the next 24 hours across Jamaica, we do see that it's not much in the way of rainfall. We see more in the way of greens and yellows that represent up to at least zero point 0.3 of an inch of rainfall. We can also see that majority of that rainfall is confined to eastern Jamaica on the Euro. GFS, something a bit different, more so eastern and central Jamaica, especially northeastern Jamaica. We'll see exactly what unfolds with that. Either way, up to 0.33 inch of rainfall. That's off an inch of rainfall. That's expected tomorrow on the GFS. And considering that we're in the dry season, we usually receive up to 97 millimeters of rainfall during the month of January. So we'll take all the rainfall that we can get before we head into the drier months of February and March. Alright, so that is it for the forecast across Jamaica. Let us focus our attention on the rest of the Caribbean. So we do see that we still have some amount of clouds plaguing sections of Central America, so Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Eastern Honduras. We can also see that rainfall, well, the rainfall associated with the leftover clouds associated with that cold front still affecting portions of northern Haiti and Dominican Republic. And if we actually take a look at the Doppler radar images of the northeastern Caribbean, we don't have much to talk about. Puerto Rico, the USA and British Virgin Islands, Antigua and Barbuda, St. Martin, Anguilla, St. Kitts and Nevis are all in the clear with some leftover showers to the north and east of Antigua and Barbuda. And if we take a look at the Barbados radar, we don't see much happening at all. The rainfall associated with that trough from yesterday that was plaguing the area has now pushed off towards the west, just like what we saw in the visible satellite images. More of those close to the northeast of the ABC Islands right now. And if we take a look at the wider view of Doppler radar images, we don't see much taking place. Just some stray showers affecting sections of Guyana, some stray showers coming in from the west to affect sections of western Florida as we speak. As it relates to the temperature forecast for tomorrow, we do see the below average temperatures as represented by those blues and greens plaguing a majority of the central and eastern United States, while it's the above normal temperatures as represented by those yellows and oranges that are going to be plaguing majority of the Caribbean for Thursday. As it relates to the Saharan dust forecast for 2 p.m. on Thursday, majority of the Caribbean should be in the clear, as all the dust represented by the brown shadings from the Sahara Desert should be across sections of Africa and the central to eastern main development region. As it relates to the wave forecast for tomorrow, we do see that both the Euro and the GFS models are showing anywhere from 0.5 meter up to 1.5 meter wave heights, and that's because the winds are not going to be that strong. Should be coming in from the east for the most part across the Caribbean, averaging anywhere from 5 to 10 to even 15 knot winds. As it relates to the rainfall forecast, now we're looking at these maps from the Euro and the GFS, and they're actually showing all the rainfall that's expected within the next 24 hours. So rainfall across section of the Gulf of Mexico, rainfall across section of Haiti and Dominican Republic, section of Jamaica, Central America, Costa Rica, section of Panama, Colombia. And we know that when both maps from the Euro and the GFS are in consensus like this, the chances of it actually happening are much higher. Alright, so that's it for today. Thanks for watching.